Hi there, my name is Florinda, and this is my group leading report for partial fulfillment of the course in Human Services Counseling, HSCO 511, Group Dynamics at Liberty University. The group discussed in this report is an ongoing open group for health ministries that has been organized through the Health Ministries Department of our church district, for which I am director. This is an outreach group not only for our church members, but for community members as well, and this group meets quarterly. For this session, we met in the Church Fellowship Hall as we normally do on September 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the meeting lasted around an hour and a half. It was followed by refreshments, which normally it is. Most of our group sessions are followed by refreshments in a time that we can meet up and speak to each other. There was a total of 9 attendees in this session, and all of them were regular members of the Health Ministry's quarterly group sessions. For this session, there was no co-leader, and one of the members was a young adult, 5 were mid-age, and there were 3 elderly people. 2 of them were male and 7 female attendees. The topic for the session was on depression and its effects on the mind, body, and spirit. The question of what is depression and what are the effects on the mind, body, and spirit, that was answered. We also answered what are the symptoms and the signs of depression. Handouts were given as well as a copy of the slide presentation where they could write notes. There was a 20-minute period of questions and answers at the end of the presentation. At the start of the session, I started with a short introduction to the program and ground rules on how the session would run. I then asked the members to introduce themselves and give one word that would describe their current emotion. I then directed them to look at the beginning slide, which I have as an icebreaker. The slide had several different faces depicting emotions, and voluntary members were asked to pick a face from the slide and choose another member of the group and explain to them what that emotion meant to them, and maybe give a personal experience of that emotion. After completing the icebreaker, which lasted around 10 minutes, I handed out a copy of the interactive slide presentation that we would be following so that the members could follow along with me, and they would have a takeaway and be able to take notes as well. As I directed the session into my slide presentation, I started an interactive discussion on depression. During this session, I asked different questions to help spark thought and ideas regarding the topic. I also asked the members to write down any questions that they might have so we could later discuss them. After the presentation, we went into the question and answer portion of the group where members were welcome to ask any questions pertaining to this topic as we discussed it. The members were highly responsive as the topic was one of the requested topics from the last quarter's group session. The members already understood the group format as this is an ongoing health education group that meets regularly, and they are encouraged to participate in suggesting session topics. Different skills and techniques used for these sessions include using icebreakers to start the session off by helping members become interactive and open up. As a leader, I actively listen and I look during the session to see if there are any needs to draw the members' attention back to the topic or to see if this is a positive or negative response to what is being said. During the questions and answers, it is vital for me to actively listen and watch expression and hear voice tone to identify member needs. For this session, the members were very interactive and voiced positive concerns of learning. I also used sharing and support for this group, as this fosters an open, positive atmosphere. As this is a group I regularly lead, I feel comfortable with the format of the group. In this particular session, there was little need to cut off a member, as I had explained the group rules at the introduction, and the group is an interactive group that always finishes with questions and answers. I mention the cutting off because this is one of my main challenges with any group I have led in the past. I somehow feel that this is rude to cut off or shortly redirect the conversation. This is one of my learning opportunities that I will be working on in the future. I do feel that the education component of the group went well, as this is my area and I have to teach health education regularly, both at work and in church. I believe that active listening is also a strong skill, and I use it regularly to gain insight into needed processes for these health education groups as well as my daily work. This assignment has been a great learning experience for me, as I have incorporated learned information from this class into regular group sessions that I lead. I will continue to mold my sessions with information gained from this class as well as personal research and study. I know that there will always be opportunity to learn new techniques so that we can reach those in need of a helping hand. As Drs. Ron Hawkins and Tim Clinton state in their book, The New Christian Counselor, and I quote, "We are the hands and feet of God." They also state, "Ultimately, the battle is the Lord's. We are called to be warriors and trusted friends. We are partners with God in the great work of helping persons to achieve healing and transformation." End quote. This is found on page 67 of their book, The New Christian Counselor. I hope that as we go into the world of pain and suffering, we all can be God's hands and feet and bring healing and transformation to souls. Blessings to all of you as you continue with your studies. Remember, as the African proverb states, knowledge is like a garden. If it's not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. Blessings.